Thanks for the resub, White Cheddar Mac.
Let's go.
The poop lady from Hoarders? Probably, yeah. Damn, the quality on this one is worse. It may say 720p, but I promise you it's not.
Check out ALF Club. It's cursed.
Christ, I totally forgot, Steve. Yeah, I'll do that next. Here.
My name is Rondell Reed. I've broken 9 bones in my body. But I'm not in the hospital. I'm in the medical wing of the Indian River County Jail, Florida.
That's a good place.
I ended up there because I had an argument with my boss.
Don't push me!
We got into a fight and I shot him.
Jesus. Nothing more American than that. Just 2 mechanics fighting over, you know, a fucking blown radiator and one gets shot.
They arrested me and put me in jail pending trial for murder.
That is for recreation, court appointment. You need to go to medical for any reason.
What would I be arrested for?
And that's about it.
Excessive gaming.
I started looking around for
Over-disciplining the youth on video
We
games.
were under constant surveillance.
Instilling
Guards were always
terrorism-like
watching us through
fear
one-way glass.
on the online
There were
battlefield.
cameras everywhere and they counted us every hour.
When the deputies come on, the first thing they're doing is a count in their building, going by each one of the
Thanks for the
housing
gift sub,
units
Carrick.
to make sure those inmates
Aw.
are all accounted for.
To the birthday boy.
Even outside in the rec yard, cameras had views of the whole area. And we were always watched by guards.
This actually looks like a pretty
When we
high
got to the
security
recreation,
one.
there
I
was a
wonder how it gets
deputy
out.
on the recreation tower.
Thanks, David,
and
for the
they're
gift
carrying
sub.
A shotgun and a .45 pistol.
Despite the tough security, I was determined to bust out.
Man, the captions are always so off now.
I started asking other prisoners if they'd seen any loopholes. I heard that one guy was already working on a plan.
So I killed him.
His name was Levi Taylor. Levi was in for first-degree murder and awaiting sentencing.
Is it a full episode of
He
Forged in
didn't want to spend
Fire?
the rest of his life behind bars either.
Thanks for the
By
reset,
the
Mike.
nature of his crime, he could definitely be labeled as dangerous. He had a violent history as far as his charges, and he was going to prison for a long time.
I waited for the right moment.
This is cute. He's like asking out his like homecoming crush.
Man, what you heard about me?
I told Levi I wanted to escape, and I had the experience to do it.
I've busted out before.
He thought about
That's
it
sweet,
and
right here.
decided he could use me.
See you later, bro.
We agreed to escape together.
That was easy. He must have
I moved
maxed
into
out his
Levi's
charisma
cell.
stat.
The guards didn't suspect a thing. They let us sleep in any bed we liked, as long as the numbers added up at count.
What?
When it was safe to talk, we finally discussed the plan. Amazingly,
Orgy in
our way
Levi's
was
cell,
right in
baby.
front of us. Inside our cell was an air vent.
This right here. This right here.
Thanks for the resub, simple
Behind
courtesy.
that vent was a utility room, which had a door that led out into the rec yard. If we could get through the
There's the
vent
prime
and open
bean.
that door, we could run outside and jump the fence.
That's so simple.
But there was a catch.
We never expected them to ask nicely. They were unstoppable.
What about the bars?
Yeah, that's actually how one
vent
group
was
escaped.
blocked by
They
steel
dressed as
bars.
workers and like
To get
left.
into the utility room, we'd have to saw through them. But Levi had it covered. A while back, another prisoner had smuggled a hacksaw blade into the jail and hidden it in a book in the law library.
How did you know about
Levi had
that?
gotten a hold of it, and that's what we were going to use to. saw
Someone
through the
sucks at
bars.
keeping secrets.
That night, we waited for
Thanks,
the
the
guards to
Prime.
finish count,
Luminous.
so we could get to work using the blades. We had exactly an hour before they
Happy
came
birthday,
back
Karen.
around.
That's
counts
cute.
throughout the whole facility were conducted the same way to make sure that all the inmates are present and accounted for. But inmates got used to the routine. They knew when we did them.
There's the prime, patient 0. How do you smuggle a hacksaw blade into prison? Well, a lot of these prisons use them as labor camps, kinda. So they have the prisoners doing labor on certain things, and they use tools. Sometimes being hacksaws. So some crafty prisoners have been able to take hacksaw blades from there to their cells. We've seen it a few times.
Finally, we could start cutting through the bars. But as I started sawing, I realized we were in big trouble. The bars were made from toughened steel,
Ooh.
and it didn't matter how much I tried to cut them. The hacksaw blade just wasn't up to it.
Luckily, one of the prisoners had smuggled dynamite into one of the books in the library. When that didn't work, we decided to use the other book
So
that
instead
had
of
a
cutting
high-powered
bars,
laser in it.
I started to work on the brackets that were holding the bars in position. The brackets were made from softer metal, and the hacksaw blades sliced through. Finally, we were making progress. I kept going till the jail was so quiet, I thought we
Thanks to the
might
prime
be
half-baked.
Come on, that's enough, that's enough. Okay, we'll do the more tomorrow. That's enough.
I eased the vent back into place.
You really feel like there'd be a lot of sound
Although it
echoing in
seemed
a
like our
prison like
plan
that.
might just work,
So you'd hear that.
I was still scared that a guard might see we've been messing
Thanks to
with
the tier
them.
1 Riker. That's very sweet, man.
And if they called for a shakedown, our escape was over. Luckily, guards didn't see a thing.
They never do, apparently.
Every night we had the same routine. We waited for lockdown. And sawed at the brackets.
Thanks to the resub, Hannah.
Some nights the jail was so quiet we could only work for a few minutes. Other nights there was more noise and we kept going for longer. Finally, after all our hard work, we cut through the brackets and pulled out the bars.
You pulled out a bar.
We knew our plan to get into the utility room would work.
Well, I mean, yeah, you knew that from the get-go. It's a
Now,
hacksaw
we
in
had to
metal.
think
It's
about
going to
what
work. It's a
do
matter
once
of
we got
time.
outside.
And not getting caught doing it.
Here's the plan.
To reach the fences, we had to run all the way across the rec yard. We knew the guard towers weren't manned at night.
That'd be like the #1 time they should be manned. What do you
It was
mean?
a chance we had to take.
Yeah, we only look in the guard towers 30 minutes every day from like 3 to 3:30 p.m.
We weren't able to cut
After
through
that,
the
we just call it a fucking day. They're not going
We'd
anywhere.
have to take our chances with
Them outside the facility.
Yeah, I like that tattoo you got. Let me see.
Yeah, it looks like Lil Xan now. What's your SoundCloud?
Levi, hey, who's that lucky guy?
You, of course.
Trying to slip
Oh.
Sadie a note was impossible.
Oh,
I love you, baby.
But when the guard wasn't looking,
I love you even more, right?
Levi managed to sign that he was going to escape from jail and where they should meet.
that's convenient. Well, how the fuck would he sign where they should meet? There's not exactly sign language for every street in the world. Well, I'm not familiar with ASL, I suppose.
Over the next few weeks, we prepared for the escape. We collected trash bags and old newspapers to make dummies. We figured they might fool the
Finger
guards
spell it?
and buy
Oh,
us
okay,
some
that
time.
makes sense.
Then we dyed our boxers with ink pens to make them look like running shorts. Our idea was that once we were over the fence, we'd dump our orange overalls and try to look like joggers. Then finally, after all our hard work, we cut through the brackets and pulled out the bars. I barely slept. Tomorrow, we'd escape.
That is
The
until
next night, we waited for
Officer...
Count,
I didn't
then
get a good
lights
look at
out.
him. Was it the guy from earlier?
As soon as the guards were gone, we put our plan into action. To get inside the van,
More hot pepper
break into the
videos?
utility
Maybe.
room, and escape.
Thanks to the resub gamehead.
We're getting out here, man. That's it. All right, man. Let's go.
Timing was critical. We knew we had just an hour before the guards came back.
As a side note, that is the longest time in between checks of any prison we've seen on this show. It's usually 30-minute intervals.
But as soon as I was in, I realized we'd hit a huge problem.
There's bars on the other side. As you would expect there to be.
I was stuck.
I can't breathe. I'm stuck. Leave me stuck. I can't move.
Fuck it, just lock him in there. Tell on him and you might get your sentence reduced. I bet the next arc in this anime is he goes on like a strict diet for like a month and then they try again.
I was trapped in the venting and trying hard not to panic, guessing the guards would be back for count soon. Then
There's the reset,
Levi
Big B.
pulled. I was relieved that I was out, but devastated that I couldn't get through.
I mean, you can fix that problem by not being fat, you know what I mean?
But I knew we couldn't give up. We had to find out what was on the other side of that vent. So Levi went in instead. 40 pounds lighter. He had a better chance of getting through.
Little did we know there was a pit up ahead with sharks underneath it. Well, he could have never planned for this. Thanks to the resub, Manny. Yeah, these are real stories. Well, it'd be really boring if they were made-up stories. If I was gonna make up a prison escape, there'd be bombs, fairies, and elves. Not fucking smuggled hacksaw blades in a vent.
Where you going?
He couldn't open the door. It was like being kicked in the teeth.
Imagine being from my village and seeing a white man come to your village in 3 disguises over 3 days for no apparent reason than
We had to get out of the utility room. It was our
What?
only escape route.
I don't get the reference. Thanks for the Prime Chronicle.
That door's our only chance.
I figured that if I covered myself with hair grease, I might just squeeze through the venting.
Well, why not
But
just
that
stop
still
eating
left
so...
the
You're in
lock
prison,
door.
how are you still fat? Are you
I thought we
smuggling
might be
birthday
able to
cakes in or
smash the
something?
lock with a steel bar, but it would be far too noisy.
Just eat
Then
less.
I had an idea.
I decided to try and get some butter from the kitchen, to grease myself up, Ed Nettie style.
Maybe we could use the noise from the game as cover.
Thanks for the tier 1 Aldemod. Ah yes, big boned.
It was risky with the other prisoners so close, but we pulled out the bars. Then, Levi went in. I passed him the bar to smash the handle off the door.
Why not just use the hacksaw and you can saw it off the door? This is just gonna make significantly more noise. In fact, you don't even have to saw the fucking doorknob off, you can just saw the actual metal core.
The noise Levi made as he smashed that handle was unbelievable. I knew we had to go on.
Just use the fucking hacksaw.
Finally, he smashed the lock.
Nice, just in time. But the guards were wondering what sounded like an entire fucking bongo drum performance going on in the ventilation shaft.
If I could squeeze through that vent, I finally had my chance for freedom.
Oh shit, I'm sorry to hear that,
We were
Bugs
ready
here.
to go.
There's no good advice other than to distract
As soon as
yourself.
the guards had
Give it
gone,
time.
We made our move.
Godspeed,
We
man.
only had an hour before they came back.
Let's go.
We made the dummies out of plastic bags to try and trick the guards.
Thanks for the reset, Drunken Possum.
I took down the vent.
Thanks for the resub, Helgs.
Then we pulled out the bars. I smeared my body with hair grease.
Levi, rub some sunscreen on me. It's gonna be hot outside. I actually haven't played RuneScape in quite a little while.
The hair grease worked perfectly, and I slid straight through the vent.
Come on, take this. Give me the lights.
And he didn't even have to change his diet. Thanks to the Prime Pair Boy. And dibs.
In the utility room, we stuffed the lids down our overalls to protect us from the razor wire.
Man, this teamwork. It's like a fucking football locker room right now. Pats on the ass, sunscreen, lube up. My god. Power of friendship, man. What did they even do to get in there? Well, they're both murderers, so it's really hard to root for their escape.
We knew we might be seen, but it was a chance we had to take.
I'm going first.
We reached the first wire fence and climbed. Then threw the sheet over the razor wire.
I feel like razor wire would definitely cut through that flimsy fucking sheet.
The razor wire was vicious, but we had to get over. On top of that fence, I was completely exposed.
Not the most athletic of climbs.
There was no going back. As soon as I was over, Levi...
So is it just cheaper to make a fence than a wall? Because you can easily climb fences, thus you need barbed wire at the top, whereas with a wall you can't really easily climb that. So is it a cost thing to use fences instead of walls? Yeah? Okay. You can't see through walls? Who gives a fuck? As if people driving by want to see in. And they usually don't give a fuck enough to really care about them seeing out.
Stuck on the razor wire. With no protection for the second fence, we knew if we climbed over, we'd be cut to shreds. So we started to dig.
Come on. Get down.
What?
Get out, get out.
The soil was real soft.
This dude couldn't even fit through a fucking
In just a few
ventilation
minutes, we
shaft.
dug a hole big enough to climb
You're gonna have to dig a hole like halfway to China to get this guy under. Thanks for the prime, better blue. Thanks for the prime, Spartan. And Xanity.
On the other side of the fence, we were finally free.
But I was winded.
First chance we got, we changed from our prison overalls into our ink-dyed boxers.
Thanks to the prime golden ant.
Then headed north to where we hoped Sadie was waiting for us.
Man, if only they had guards in the watchtower at night instead of during the early morning for some reason.
I received a phone call from our dispatcher.
It's not fictional. This is a real breakout. But the way it happened may be fictional. You just have to take the prisoner's word. So that could be fake, but the breakout was real.
A million questions. How did these guys get out? Where did they go? Who are they going to call for help? We issued a bulletin to all surrounding law enforcement agencies that there were 2 very dangerous inmates that had escaped from our facility.
Yeah, I know they say it's dramatized, but it's based off of what the prisoners told them
It was
in their
a huge
escape.
concern of mine to get these guys back in custody as soon as possible.
After a couple of blocks, I was exhausted. My knee was killing me. I hadn't run on it since before my car accident, and I needed to rest.
What the fuck is this little jet
When I
ski
saw a
advertisement
bench,
for?
I stopped to catch my breath.
Let's go, come on. All right. Hey, just give me a second, all right? Hang on. All right, just wait. Give me a second to rest, okay? Jeez. Hey, Levi!
Oh shit!
Levi!
Abandoned by Levi.
Betrayed.
My escape from Indian River County just got a lot harder.
Thanks to the resub Scenaro.
Levi! Levi!
Damn, after all that, you guys lubed each other up and he's just gonna abandon you like that? Damn. Just when you thought you could trust a murderer. Thanks to the prime gamer killer.
Levi had abandoned me. Without a getaway ride from his girlfriend, my only choice was to start walking.
Oh, look, it's just a normal man.
Stumbled onto a
Bloody
road
knee,
and followed the
dirty,
tracks north.
walking.
My knee was in agony. I kept smashing my foot,
God damn.
but I focused on moving forward. I knew that by now, police from all over the county would be searching for me.
I mean, at this point, he should just do what Illumi did in Hunter in the Hunter exam. Dig a hole and fall asleep there.
It could have been anywhere.
Just wait it
on the
out.
state floor. And it's very hard to determine which direction they went.
Well, I'm guessing they're probably headed north.
But tradition has shown that before someone thinks about committing an act like this, they reach out to someone because they don't want to get on the outside and not have any type of contact. I reviewed Leviticus Taylor's visitation list.
That's a
and
cool
I saw Sadie
name.
Welker's name repeatedly. I was excited to track down any possible leads.
The Crab Exorcist. I love that title.
Detective Thornton.
I'll cue it up.
I received a phone call from the Stewart Police Department regarding contact with Sadie Welker.
Thanks to the prime Sean Penn.
The Stewart Police Department conducted the traffic stop for a broken tail light.
Fuck, I gotta pee real bad. I'll be right back. bad show. Okay. It's a bad show. Don't worry, team, I'm back. Oh. Thanks for the prime, Purple Zeta. And the resub punk chick.
And the officer made mention of a tattoo up under her left eye that read Levi.
Riverdale. She's talking about Riverdale.
She was in the company of an unknown male passenger. It was possible that it could have been...
You could hear me pee this time? Oh, because I don't have Spider-Man playing, so now you guys can hear it. Whatever.
Based on all of those things put together, I decided to find her and bring her in to be questioned.
Well, what do you know, Levi?
As daylight broke,
Betrayal
I
didn't get you
stumbled on
far.
an abandoned house.
Cockroaches come around year long. Thanks to the Prime Shredder.
It was a perfect place to hide from the police.
Thanks to the Bat Tier 1
I
slug.
was exhausted. As I lay there, I knew the man
I know.
was closing
Well, you're way
in,
behind,
and
I knew
had
that.
no idea if Levi
Yeah,
had been
they
caught
seem
by
happy.
the police.
Also, did you know he's older than her? Thanks to the Prime Ultimate.
Is he? How old is she?
She's 46 and he's 55.
The officer arrived at the sheriff's office with Sadie. When I went to interview her, I took a
Yeah,
gentle-
I thought it was Helen Mirren, and she's like 90.
Maybe it's just the air.
I didn't want to lose her as a aid to help
Keanu
her
Reeves
find
and
me.
his
Yeah, I
girlfriend.
think it's just an angle of that first photo. She doesn't look as
someone in
old
the
in
vehicle
others.
with
Eh, probably not.
Who was that?
I'm happy though.
She didn't seem nervous at all. She was laughing, smiling. When I asked her who was the other passenger in the vehicle,
Was it a man? Was it a woman?
she wouldn't tell me anything.
You don't know.
Damn, she has been through this song and dance before.
There was nothing I could do to detain her.
So I beat her.
I wasn't very happy with watching her walk out.
I'm not
the
beating
door,
anyone, I'm
but in the back of
watching,
my mind thinking she
Prison
would
Escapes.
know where he is.
Thanks to the resub wheels. That sounds cute. Yeah, I'll check it out, Will.
Oh, hi, Jack.
Hidden in that house, I had terrible dreams. Flashbacks of jail.
She doesn't look very old.
Visions of fleeing the law.
Alright, sleep well.
And of shooting my old boss. I knew I had to leave that house and keep moving.
Thanks to the resub Dofrito.
Yeah, gotcha.
During the course of the investigation, I saw a suspicious posting on Sadie Welker's Facebook page that said, "Free Levi."
Oh, that's not
Which I
suspicious.
found to be
People say that whenever
suspicious.
someone goes to
When I
jail. It doesn't matter who it was. If Adolf Hitler was arrested today, there'd be a whole hashtag Free Hitler on Twitter. Fucking true crimes lovers.
I took that
Flicking their
posting as
bean
if
to
she
serial
was
killers? You kidding me?
Celebrating his freedom.
That's not suspicious.
We decided that we
Those
need to
fucking
go get her
lunatics.
immediately for a second interview. When I pulled in the driveway,
Thanks
she
for the
had
prime.
a go bag
Here
or
come
overnight
Dat Dom.
bag with her as she was approaching her vehicle. My objective in that second interview was to get a confession. I had one overall goal, and that was to find Leviticus Taylor and to make Sadie tell me where he was.
I wonder what the policies are on interrogations
that
like
bag
this in
for?
interviews.
where were you going?
Like, how hard can you go? Obviously, you can't beat them up or anything, but can you make them really
I
uncomfortable?
started to put more pressure
Like,
on
could you
her.
just get naked and start touching yourself and say, the only way you make me stop is by telling me the truth or something?
I started noticing.
I imagine there's
pressure
got to be codes
was
against
getting
it.
to be a bit too much.
You're not giving me enough, you know that?
She began to tell me little bits and pieces.
It's in the back of the truck.
You got picked up, right?
She told me that Taylor was in the vehicle when the officer was talking to her.
Ooh.
She said she was stopped by the police officer for a broken tail light. Sadie explained to me that the officer simply let her go with a warning.
Oh, that was nice.
They didn't know what to do. What are they going to do to hide him?
So she killed him.
There was a sense of panic. She decided to go to a local Walmart. And he was gonna wait behind Walmart.
Okay, be safe.
Until she returned, at which time they would come up with an alternate plan.
Why?
I decided to go to Walmart and drop him off at the back of the store.
What?
That was a tremendous break in the case, because we knew he was in that area.
What should we do? I don't know. Okay, how about you just wait out here in the open while there's a fucking statewide manhunt going for you, and then I'll come back and we'll try and figure something out. Sounds good.
I was excited. I think we were all excited. If it proved to be true, he would be in the bag very, very soon. And lo and behold,
Thanks for the
on side of
resub,
road,
chef.
there was our suspect.
What's your name?
You got me. It's me, Levi Taylor. I was ecstatic.
What a dumb fucking plan.
I was feeling great. You want to talk about a sense of relief? That was the best feeling I'd had in a long time.
Well, maybe put guards in the watchtower at night.
He was taken to the sheriff's office.
Could have avoided the whole thing.
Placed into an interview room, at which time I interviewed him.
I was so impressed with his breakout, I decided to exonerate him of all charges.
I felt the more dangerous escapee was still out. There's a code. We don't rat out each other. We don't tell the other inmates' plan. And he was sticking close to it.
Yeah, I mean, why not? He's in for life.
When the last time you seen him?
He said to me,
"Listen, man, take me back to my cell. I'm not saying anything. I'm not talking. I'm not a snitch. You'll find him on your own."
Meanwhile, he's just living in a shitty house. He's starting to pay rent. Re-assimilating into society.
Out of bed. Cursed myself for still being so close to the jail. Every muscle in my body ached. But I knew I had to move on.
So I went back to the prison and got a job as one of the guards. I'm still working there to this day. They have no idea.
we still did not know the direction of travel on Reed. Nothing had popped up on the radar, so it was as if he just disappeared.
I'm not saying a word, man. I have to try another approach.
Thanks for the Prime, Dev.
I asked him if he was hungry, if he wanted something to eat, because we all know fresh food is a way to get assistance.
Fair, yeah.
While he was eating, I continued to talk to him about
I laced it with
Rondell
truth serum.
Reed's possible destination.
I asked him if he thought I was cute, and he couldn't lie to me.
I pleaded with him that I needed to find this guy, and everything was riding on it. So I asked him to show me the route.
How about we go out there and see about that right now? Right now? Yeah. You ready? Come on, man. Grab your stuff. You can take that with you. Let me know, man.
And he agreed, surprisingly.
That's pretty smart.
We drove.
Is he not in handcuffs in that car? What stops him from just attacking the officers on the road outside of the prison?
I learned from Taylor at Reed decided to rest on a bench.
Look, on the left side, you're gonna see a bench.
Was he in handcuffs? I couldn't tell. How would he eat his chicken? Or what is... Does he have fries? I don't remember. It's either he has boneless wings or fries. How would he eat that with his hands cuffed?
Positive about that, yes.
That was a very critical moment in the case. We were able to redirect the search
There's the resub
for
Cheeto.
Rondell Reed.
Levi gave us a place to focus for that day. We've got a really good lead at this point.
That's true, he could have faked it.
He was in this area.
But he really wanted to
That's
fuck
where
his
we
friend.
focused our SWAT guys. It was disappointing. Nothing resulted in anything other than we know that's where he was when Levi left him. We really have no idea of where he could be.
Isn't he in that house? Right?
as if he
That's
just
the house he's living in right now, isn't it?
He just vanished.
They're camping out in the house. They just don't see him. Oh, there he is.
I had to get out of Indian River County. The longer I was there, the more chance there was of getting caught. I walked about 12 miles, finally reaching the town of Sebastian. After carefully sneaking my way through the quiet streets, I saw a car repair shop. I knew that one of those vehicles could get me out of Florida.
But then I was attacked by the ghost of my
hand on the
boss.
glass, but I didn't care. It was a gold mine. Finding 20 bucks made me feel like a millionaire. Put on the old clothes and tried to hotwire the car.
That doesn't work. You can't hotwire modern cars.
So I moved on.
Rondell Reed was a professional car thief.
Do you want to leave your name?
So we wanted any grand theft autos to be reported to our agencies. The following day, police officers responded to the attempted theft of 2 vehicles at a auto store.
We're getting closer. I definitely felt we were onto him.
Okay.
I contacted our crime scene division and asked that they respond there to process that scene. When they arrived, the crime scene detective noticed that there was blood on the steering column.
The fool.
You got any trace?
Yeah, we've got some blood.
Smells like Rondell's blood.
That DNA confirmed that Rondell Reed was the person who broke into those cars based on the blood.
That was a tremendous deal. We knew he was in the area attempting to steal vehicles.
What we didn't expect was he stole a train.
Another abandoned house. I was holed up inside waiting for it to get dark when I saw my opportunity to get out of the county. Man arrived next door and left the keys to his car in the ignition. At last, I was leaving Indian River.
That just didn't happen. That nobody gets out of their car leaving the keys in the ignition. That's basic human instinct to not do that.
From the same general area.
There's no way.
Break-ins. So now we're like, okay, this is really good. This has got to be Rondell. He just stole
Do they?
his car.
I can't even imagine that. That's like the first thing I do. I really can't even imagine someone just getting out of their car while it's still running.
In the back of my mind, I knew it was Rondell. It was bad news, but good news. He had resurfaced. However, he
Thanks for the
was
gift sub,
now
Gray.
mobile.
And the resub heck.
In my stolen car, I hit the interstate heading north. I wanted to get out of Florida as fast as I could.
You and everyone else that lives in Florida, apparently.
I was very concerned and desperate to find him. I knew he was back on our map. But
Thanks
he
to
was
the
gonna put
Prime
a lot of people
food
in
stamp.
jeopardy while trying to run from law enforcement. In desperate situations, people do desperate things.
I drove for hours, but by the time I'd reached Knoxville, I was low on gas. I headed into town figuring I either had to dump the car or jack someone for cash.
Don't you have $20? Why not just spend it on gas?
Opportunity. A woman by herself.
What is this epidemic of people just getting out of their cars while it's running? Oh, he's just taking her money.
So I stuck the knife in to hurt her.
Jesus.
With $150 in my pocket, I'd hit the jackpot.
Didn't he just say he was low on gas?
I was
Wouldn't he
back
have
on the
taken their
highway in no time
car
and
as
heading
well?
north.
We issued bulletins to all law enforcement. Consider him armed and dangerous.
Thanks for the Prime Bongo and the resub, Caitlin.
I drove for hours, crossing state after state. It was in Ohio that I started to think I'd thrown the cops off my trail. Then I saw police lights in my mirror. I tried to outrun him.
How did they get him?
But I lost it on a turn, and before I knew it, I was in another car wreck. I'd thrown the cops off my trail.
Oh, what is this repeat?
After visiting the hospital, they sent me back to Florida. Into solitary confinement.
Good. Well, that's good news. I'd like to know how they knew what car he was in, though. That was not answered in the anime adaptation of the manga there. We'll watch another one. Give me just 1 second, I'll be right back.